Pre-mustache.
I thought about bringing the shaver down here while we were recording and be like, "Do you like it?" And you'd be like, "No." I'd be like, "I like the."
As long as Charlie doesn't get scared.
No, I don't. He didn't even say anything. I don't think he even noticed it. Funny guy.
Okay, so now that we're back, I gotta listen to the story. So you're saying that it has to do with the chunky donkeys you have in the back.
That's right. It's got to do with these chunky donkeys I have in the back, and I mean, it's a little embarrassing, okay? Un poquito vergonzoso, un poquito.
Pero es que
But
así se aprende, entonces no
así se
importa.
aprende, hay que ser honestos, ¿no? Entonces, 2 years ago, okay, I basically see this big opportunity selling shoes, right? I love these shoes, bro. I love
Yeah.
sneakers. You
I
know
know
that.
you're a sneakerhead.
Since I was like knee high to a duck, I love sneakers. A little too much. O sea, está mal, man. Mal. Jordan 1s, Off-Whites, Dunks, Jordan 5, Prestos, Kyrie 2, infrared, colorways. Anyway, all of it. So I start buying up some shoes, right? I start looking at all these cook groups. I start basically entering raffles, and I start winning some of these stuff, right? I start winning some shoes.
Okay. Literally just like you started winning free shoes?
Not free shoes. You win the chance to buy them.
Oh.
They sell out within 5 seconds. If you're closer to Beaverton, to Oregon, your IP address is closer, you're going to have a better chance to win. Yo estoy en las montañas, bro.
It sounds like a struggle. I hear you. Okay.
It's a struggle, but it's like a game. And, every day, here I am. I'm checking up on the Nike app, right? I'm buying all the new releases, all the new colorways, all the stuff that I've learned, I'm putting to use, right?
Yeah.
And so, I do that for about a year. And then next thing you know, let's say by end of 2020 or so, I'm like sitting on maybe 150 pares. The Nikes,
Poquitos.
Pares, bro. O sea,
Pero así poquitos.
Poquitos. Well, you should see like my house at that point. Everywhere you look, there was a box of Nike somewhere.
y por cada par que te compra extra, ¿te salen un set de pies más? ¿O cómo funciona eso para poderte poner?
I wasn't selling them for a while. I just started collecting them.
I remember. I was the one who told you that your sell button was broken.
That's right. So this whole time that I'm talking about, my sell button was broken. Dañado, bro.
Sí.
Ni siquiera podía encontrar el sell button. No sé qué se fue.
Pero ¿y el botón de comprar también está dañado? No,
No, comprar está perfectamente bien. I keep
that perfección.
Sharp, bro. Maintenance, just 100% maintenance is religious maintenance on the buy button. But the sell button, I don't even know where it is anymore.
Who even knows, right?
Who cares?
Yeah.
So sitting on a ton of boxes, brand new stuff. I'm loving it. And at that point, I was making a lot of money. The economy was pretty good, even though it was going through COVID. I was still, there was a lot of money flowing around.
Yeah.
And I was okay with just not having a sell button and just having a buy. I was okay with that. And I'm like, okay, like I'm looking at the value, StockX, shout out. And I'm like, I'm buying shoes that are appreciating value. Like I'm good at this. $220 is probably the most expensive shoe that I'm buying. And so that shoe is probably reselling around $500 at that time.
Wow. So what time frame do they appreciate in? Like how long does it take?
It could take, sometimes the best thing to do is sell it the same exact day you bought it, because that's when the desire level is highest for that shoe. Like, for example, I go in, I try to win, and I'm like, oh, I got this in basically, a second after the draw open, I got this, and then you don't get it. Then you're gonna be like, dude, I need this shoe. And you go on StockX and you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna pay $450 for this because I just want it right now. You have to know the right models, you have to know the right colorways that are gonna be sort of like classics, and that you're gonna be able to sell whatever, a month down the road, 2 months, 3 months, and there's still gonna be interest for these shoes. Tienes que entender cómo está el mercado
Sí.
aparte no solamente de zapatos en general, de Nikes, etcétera, pero también de ciertos modelos y los colorways son muy importantes.
Ujú.
Ya en ese entonces, I think I am the best.
Ujú.
And I'm just like, okay, I got this. I'm definitely gonna be rich from this. So let's go. So I keep going, right? And like at one point, I get cocky. Like I said, I start getting really cocky. You know that's a problem.
Yeah.
Entonces empiezo a buscar zapatos en todas partes. Yo digo, ¿sabes qué? Hay gente que está vendiendo estos zapatos en eBay, también en Facebook, no sé qué, Craigslist. Yo voy a buscar, voy a encontrar un tesoro y con ese me voy a hacer rico. And
Ujú.
so I start looking around because I start thinking I'm way better than everybody else who's selling all the shoes. And so I know something you don't. And
Ujú.
I'm going to get this pair of shoes from you off of eBay or something. And you don't even know I'm going to get gold for this. This is my mentality. And so I
Seems
go
like
into
sound
it,
logic so far.
sound logic, obviously.
Yes.
Like I'm definitely being really smart at this point. Mercari was just kind of starting like to kind of take off. And I'm like, okay, let's check this out. I find these pair of chunky donkeys, which at the time were going for like 1,200. That special box was going for like 1,800 bucks, maybe $2,000.
Good money.
And good money. And I see these and they're up for 600 bucks. And I'm like,
Ooh, what a
600 bucks.
steal.
I'm like, this person doesn't know what they have. They're stuck in the past. They think this is still worth only 600. Like, and the photos look pretty good, like in someone's house. You know, it looks, everything about it looked legit. And that was me. I was like all cocky. And so I buy the shoes and I'm like, boom, they get to my house. I'm just like stoked. I feel, you know, so good. I'm like about to make this money. I put them up on StockX and I'm like, let me just put them up for a crazy price and see what, you know, what happens. Let's see who buys it.
Yeah.
So I put them up for, again, like, I don't even remember, $2,000 or something. And like a week later, somebody buys them. I'm like, oh, bam, there we go. Like, I am so good at this. Like,
You hear the cash register in the back, like cha-ching.
yeah, cha-ching. That mind is just like cha-chinging.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. There you go. Send it off to UPS. Great. I'm super happy. I get my money because I'm like, at that point, I'm like a level 4 and you get paid right away before they even verify the shoes. So I get the money and I'm like, this is awesome. I'm so happy about this. I'm so good. Like, I don't
Yeah.
even happy. This is just status quo. This is how good I am.
I'm
And
untouchable.
I'm untouchable. I'm on top of the world making, you know, 1,200 bucks in like a day or whatever it was. And then a couple of days later, I get an email from StockX
No.
and they're like, hey, there's a problem verifying these shoes, bro.
No, not a problem.
What do you mean? What do you mean there's a problem verifying these shoes? Like, what? And I keep reading down the email. And it says because they are not authentic, bro.
No.
What the? Needless to say,
Ah.
I got to return the $1,800,
You
whatever it
should
was.
email them back, be like, there's a problem with the $1,800 that you want back. That's so sad.
So they take the 1,800 directly out of my credit card because that's how the system works.
They don't
So
even wait for your like consent. Like they just take it.
no,
They
they
just
just
take it
take
back.
it out. You've given consent already
Yeah, of course.
when you signed up. And so
I only
they
consented to receive the money, not give it back.
yeah, well, apparently it was in there. So they take the money. So now it's on my credit card. Now we're talking like, I don't know, like 20% interest on that. And then of course they hit me with the $15 fee to rub it in the wound a little bit.
Yeah, like if it wasn't enough, like
Yeah, it
we are
wasn't
gonna
enough.
take a bit more.
It wasn't enough.
So what's your mind state here? Like what are you thinking? Like wait, so what did you do with the Mercari seller? Was that guy gone?
Oh, that guy was gone.
Gone. And
That guy was
you
gone.
couldn't turn it back in.
That guy was gone. It was just some Chinese something, just some knockoff Chinese thing.
No, yo, but the box looks so cool though. Like it looks legit as hell.
It does look legit. And when I got it, it looked very legit. And I opened it up and everything. But then I start noticing some things like, and I was like, nah, this is crazy. Like this has got to be the way that it is. I like talking about red flags last time, red
Yes.
flag, but I didn't even, I at that point I was,
Bro, your intuition told you what you had to know, but like you just didn't like pay attention to it because you were just so focused on making the deal.
you know what's crazy too is that I had just downloaded this app called Check, which you can take photos of the size of certain areas of the shoe and you can send them, and they have these, freelance authenticators that just send you back a message that says this is authentic or this is not authentic. And I didn't use it.
Ooh.
I don't know why I didn't use it. Now
I'm sure you
I
used it the
started
next
using
time.
it after that.
I was gonna say you probably started using it the next time. Wait, are the shoes still in there? Can we see them?
No, their shoes are not in there. They're inside the house. They look like this.
Right somewhere. Hopefully, I mean you're the one editing this, so hopefully you can make it work. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
damn,
bro,
bro. But I feel for you.
I know. I feel for me too, because in the end, it wasn't just $600 that I lost. I think though I gained a lot more than I lost, because that $600 at that point, yeah, it hurt, but I could sort of absorb it at that
Mhm.
point. I
That's
was
good.
and it was just a huge lesson, bro.
Yeah.
Because after that, I didn't lose. You still do lose some money with shoes. You lose $5 here and there sometimes on something
Mhm.
that maybe you thought was going to do well and it just didn't.
Mhm.
And so you got to get rid of it and just cut your losses, because otherwise, if you try to sell it next month, you're not going to sell it, or
Of course.
you're not, whatever. You're forced to.
Wait, did you after this happened, did you go on a hiatus? O sea, ¿paraste algún momento
Bro.
de vender o de un solo got right back on it?
No. I doubled down on it. I think I got,
Ooh.
because I knew that I could make money. Okay, I knew
Okay.
I had made at that point a lot more than 600, even at
Mhm.
that point. And so that $600 that I lost in that experience was I think just I saw it as a cost.
For sure. It's a cost of doing business.
It's a cost of doing business, but it's a cost that definitely can doesn't have to exist.
Yes, especially because you had an app that could help you with it, pero suena que por lo menos, o sea, no te mató financieramente, pero sí, te abrió los
No,
ojos
no
a que
me
hay que
mató.
ser más
Hubiera
responsable.
pasado, si me hubiera pasado en otro, no sé, 3 meses después, hubiera dolido mucho más, porque
Sí.
las cosas después, con mi trabajo, etcétera, se pusieron bravas. Entonces, gracias a Dios que lo pude, that I could absorb it at
Sí,
that
con lo que decís vos también, te lo quitan en la tarjeta, luego eso tiene un
point.
interés adicional.
You got to think
Sí,
about all these things. Sometimes those are the details you don't think about.
you're right. You're right.
And, but in my case, man, again, este fue un reminder que no todo lo que brilla es oro, and that honestly, some things are just, if they seem too good to be true,
They
they
probably are.
probably are, and we
Yeah.
already know this. Like we
And
know this.
you can even as excited as you get for a deal, you have to do your due diligence because
You have to do your due diligence,
yeah,
Brent. But sometimes se tiene que aprender a las duras, man.
sí,
And
man.
that's the only way.
Pero ahora toda la gente ahí que quiere también vender sneakers, o sea, ¿qué es lo que vos le dirías a esa gente? Y bueno, también a vos mismo, ¿vea? Como al sneakerhead David of the future. Like, what are your tips to not happen this again?
Well, a sneakerhead David of the future, I would tell myself to remember the basics, the basic
Mhm,
things that you learned, like it's too good to be true, don't do it. Or
mhm.
like, if you do something just for money, a lot of times doesn't work out. That's what I would tell myself, like if I could go back in time.
Pero,
And
y algo más concreto que como algo que you see, right, this is not what I do every time I buy sneakers. Maybe you could help someone out there just avoid being scammed. I mean, maybe just even shout out the app that you would use to
yeah,
get it certified.
100%, I would say do your research, understand which are the shoes that are the most faked. So know that, for example, with these chunky dunks, like that's one of the shoes that has the most fakes out there. Same with Travis Scott stuff, for example. So know that if you're buying used, there's a higher risk with certain things, certain pairs. And definitely too, use the technology. You know, check, like I said, another shout out. Great app, extremely quick. Like when I did the check afterwards, when I received the shoes back, within 30 minutes, I had messages from check saying these are not authentic.
Damn,
Just
that's awesome though.
It's great. It's absolutely great, and I use it all the time. Yeah, so
I'm sure you do.
That's what I would tell people. Some other people, I would tell them, yeah, yo, I'm selling a brand new pair of chunky dunkies for $600. Let's go.
Bueno, primo, la verdad que I'm sorry for your loss, pero sé que, como decís vos, aprendiste más de lo que perdiste. Y bueno, si querés pasarte los zapatos y todavía están bien, yo no me importa si son de marca o no, si son fake o real, bro.
They're a very good fake. Like they probably come from like the same factory. They look exactly the same to me, but obviously they're not. And
pero buena historia, man. Buena historia. Bueno, o sea, para mí que la escuché, yo sé que no tanto para vos que la tuviste que vivir. O sea, es lo que necesitamos. A la otra necesitamos traer a alguien más que nos cuente su historia para no tener que sufrir tanto nosotros. Así que I think it might be good that we start getting some guests in here. Maybe that's a little preview of what's to come. And
pues amigos, yo creo que una de las reglas básicas de esto, in general, is don't get cocky. Confident is good, but don't let it spill over into getting cocky, because that's when you make mistakes. No todo lo que brilla es oro. And if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Bueno, hasta la próxima, amigos. Don't forget to follow Cultura Money on Instagram, donde tenemos concursos, really fun segments y muchísimo más para reírnos juntos, para celebrar cultura latina, and to support our community with some helpful financial tips, some news, maybe some money hacks, porque tal vez durante estos tiempos difíciles, yo creo que los podemos navegar más fácilmente cuando lo hacemos juntos.
Primo, it's always great talking to you. Fam, follow us for more. Y así se aprende, man. It's always a pleasure.
Así se aprende, bro.
Well, I've been sitting here all day. I've been sitting in this waiting room. And I'm on hold. Well, yes, I'm on hold. I hope it's not all day. Hey!
What's up, primo?
Yo,
hey.
So, you know what? Thinking about it,
Yeah.
it's basically like it's almost like if we make this where we can throw the ball at each other whenever we want.
Yeah.
Like you basically can record yourself at any time that you want. And I say, yo, primo, what do you think about this fucking blah blah blah?
Yeah.
And I'll throw it. And then